Coming up, Tamuk hosts this event to bring the community together. Plus,
the university makes drastic change on campus, and
Javelinas scream, dance, and sing at this event.
This episode of the Javelina Broadcast Network starts right now.
Hello, Javelinas, and welcome to this episode of the Javelina Broadcast Network. I'm your host, Matthew Roberts.
And I'm Mark Paz. Let's get started on our first story.
Students gather for our annual Spring Fling celebration, which brings together students in the community of Kingsville. Our entertainment editor, Abigayle Hayden, was there with more.
Hey, Javelinas, I'm Abby, and I'm here at Spring Fling, where things are getting pretty sweet. As a member of CAB eBoard, what are some things that you consider when planning Spring Fling?
So when planning Spring Fling, we go ahead and send out an email to gather about how many organizations are going to come. For this year's Spring Fling, we have over 80 organizations. So based off of that, we come up with the layout and make sure everybody's signed up and stuff like that. Alongside that, we take various safety precautions into measure. So we want to make sure all of our flames are contained. We don't have anything on the grass, no spilling oil, stuff like that. We also have an electrician on site just to make sure everything's running well with the power. And then we also have fire extinguishers every so often, just to make sure we have all of our bases covered, everything's in check and ready to go.
And why do you think Spring Fling is important for students and organizations?
I really do think it's important because I feel like, yes, we're raising money for our orgs and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, it really is bringing us all together, whether that's people in the community of Kingsville or just whoever, students, people being able to come outside of their comfort zone and hang out with everybody else in the community.
Okay, great. And do you think the university should have more events like Spring Fling?
I really do. I feel like Spring Fling and Fall Carnival do really well for the community, and it's just like a good event for everybody to kind of get normalized and not just stay at home and do whatever, you know?
Thanks for checking out Spring Fling with us. This has been Abby Hayden with the South Texan. Now back to the desk with Matthew and Mark.
Since the decline of COVID-19, Bishop Turner has been left vacant. Now the university has begun the process to demolish the old dormitory. Our co-editor-in-chief, Briana Beltran, has all the details.
Hey Javelinas, I'm Briana Beltran, outside of College Hall, where we are about to speak to President Robert Vela about the demolition project for Bishop Turner Hall.
So we're talking about the Bishop Turner demolition. Can you give us a little glimpse as to what the plans are for that spot?
Well, for now, of course, we will demolish it as a result of some work that our facilities teams have done to determine what buildings are just in such bad condition that we can no longer really sustain. And obviously that was one of them. So the plan is to turn that into what I call is a pocket park, put some sod down, grass, and beautify that space for student use. For now, until we determine in the future, based on our master plan, what would best fit there.
What are some potential ideas that you have for the spot?
There's been talk about we are working to build a health hub, a health clinic for our students. Could be another academic building. We just don't know quite yet because we've got to be able to be strategic about where the needs of these types of buildings and whether we have the infrastructure in place to carry out that. So for now, it will turn into a grassy area for students to enjoy. Maybe, they've got some nice trees there for picnics. I don't know. I just think for now it needs to be something that we can use until we can strategically think about what would best fit in that corner.
And as for you and your time here, what was your favorite memory of Bishop Turner Hall?
When I came to school here, I was a commuter because I was working. So it was when my first job as an Upward Bound coordinator. That is where the residence hall was for the Upward Bound students that we recruited from all over the South Texas community. And we basically stayed there for 6 weeks. And I lived pretty much there with them to make sure they were okay. And so it's got a lot of memories as far as building young minds and cultivating them to believe that they can attend this university and graduate from this university. So I did spend some time there, quality time there, but not as a student, as an Upward Bound coordinator.
Thank you for watching. Now back to the desk with Mark and Matthew.
The Tamuk School of Music hosted their annual jazz festival and featured many middle school and high school jazz bands competing for gold. Our campus editor, Mariana, Soria, was there at the scene.
Hey Javelinas, we're here at the 56th Annual Jazz Festival hosted at Texas A&M University Kingsville, where middle schools and high schools alike are competing for first place. In addition to that, the Texas A&M University School of Music's jazz and combo bands will be performing for this special occasion. Let's go check it out. You had mentioned that this is your first Jazz Fest with us. How do you find your experience so far?
Oh, it was fresh and new, and I do enjoy seeing different young faces coming from the middle schoolers and high schoolers, and I just can't wait to interact with more of them.
What do you think middle school students and high school students learn from watching college musicians?
I believe so, because jazz is truly a live music, and it requests different kinds of interactions. It has an intimate environment to it. So by introducing the high schoolers, mid schoolers to jazz, so that they could get inspired and just getting curious to know what the music really is all about. It's fun.
Can you tell me what you think your high school students obtain from coming to college events like these?
It's the exposure of jazz music. Essentially, this contest is probably one of the heaviest contests when it comes to jazz music here in Texas, and our students get a lot of exposure, and they get to see amazing programs, and they get to perform amongst the best in the state.
What do you hope the audience will take away from your performance?
I hope that the audience can enjoy the performance so that they can understand how it feels to make others feel when you perform.
What advice would you give other students that are hoping to join their school's jazz program?
Just to join it. You're going to be playing fun music, and it's definitely worth it. Just take the chance and join the band.
That's all for me. Now back to the desk with Matthew and Mark.
Now everyone's favorite segment, Hlights. The Tamuk Art Department is showcasing several different art pieces created by faculty members within the department. The gallery is free for all students who wish to show some support.
Student Engagement and Campus Life hosted their annual Javelina Easter Bash, where students got the opportunity to participate in an egg hunt and other activities.
After their trip to Puerto Rico, our agriculture students have safely returned home with some newfound knowledge, memories, and experiences.
Now, don't go anywhere yet, because the biggest story of this episode is about to hit the stage right after this commercial break.
Interesting.
Javelinas, and welcome back to this episode of the Javelina Broadcast Network. I'm your host, Matthew Roberts.
And I'm Mark Boz. Student engagement at Campus Life took center stage with their brand new event, the Screaming Javelina Music Festival. The event aimed to bring the music festival energy to campus. Our co-editor-in-chief, Briana Beltran, took the mic.
With delicious bites from local food trucks to an incredibly talented lineup of musical performances, this Screaming Javelina Music Festival, organized by TAMIC's Student Engagement and Campus Life, is sure to be the next Javelina tradition. So what sparked your interest in creating Screaming Javelina?
This event I've been thinking about for years. I know music is really important to college students, and I know big campuses have music events. And so we thought about how could we bring a music fest or just a big singer. We brought Ludacris about 7-8 years ago, and we wanted to bring the music back. So this year we started with local artists, so that maybe in the future it can just get bigger and bigger and we can bring bigger names into it.
So how did you hear about Screaming Javelina?
From social media, the TAMUC Instagram pages.
What is the one thing that you love about the festival?
The fact that the artists are supported here from their tables, like Ivan and the other artists. I actually bought a necklace from.
If you could describe the overall festival in 3 words, which would you choose?
Exciting, delicious because of the food, and loud.
So how did you decide your set list for today?
I want to bring in energetic, so how am I going to pump it up? Like, how am I going to start off energetic? And from there, like, how am I going to maintain it and end up strong? I guess I'll plan it out by first bar, middle bar, and then last part, so yeah.
Looking back at your crowd work, you did very well in that aspect and getting the crowd pumped. How did you get into that mindset?
Honestly, it's from hard work. At first, I wasn't big on microphone use, but, you know, just like anything, you get better at anything, and then once you start, like knowing the crowd and reading the crowd, you just take off from there.
Now, back to the desk with Matthew and Mark.
And now, for all our sports fans out there, it's time for our sideline reports with co-sports editor, Jacob Daniels.
Thanks, Matthew. I hope you sports fans are ready because, boy, do we have a doozy of sports news for y'all. We are going to start off with possibly one of the greatest Javelina athletes to vault through our campus, Thomas Nieto. Nieto, in 7 meets in the indoor track season, has won 5 gold medals in pole vaulting and has been named Lone Star Conference Indoor Men's Field Athlete of the Year. Nieto has also broken a Colombian national pole vaulting record. Keep it up, Thomas, and good luck in the outdoor season. Moving on to Javelina baseball, the boys of summer, since March 15th, have won 8 straight. Keep those wins coming, guys, and lastly, my co-sports editor, Matthew Roberts, was at the TAMUC volleyball alumni game.
Hey Javelinas, I'm Matthew Roberts, and we are here at the alumni volleyball game where we're going to be interviewing current players and players from the past. So let's go check it out. How does playing against the alumni prepare you for next season?
It definitely gives us a chance to compete during the off season. A good opportunity for us to have some competition and for just the team to see the improvements and the things we've been working on all semester long.
How does it feel to be able to play against the people who really made a path for y'all to continue playing and doing well?
Yeah, it's just great to see some of our ex-teammates here, but it's just great to see some people just be back here. It's a great program, just the environment, it's really great.
Okay. What do you hope for come fall season?
We're very excited. I think we're going to be very competitive. We have a lot of returners and just a lot of people that are going to come in, freshmen, and we're just very excited.
How does it feel to be able to play against these current players, and what do you hope this brought them?
It feels honestly so great to play some of these current players. It was nice to play with some of my old teammates, and it was really competitive. I'm surprised we hung with them. But what do I expect for this next season? Honestly, we have some really good girls coming in from all different areas, and it's going to definitely add some depth to our roster.
How much do you enjoy the competitiveness of this game between the alumni and the current players?
It's definitely, it's especially in the spring since we don't get to have as many competitions. It's definitely nice to be able to be very competitive with the girls just so they can kind of get a feel of what they might see in the next couple months. So yeah, it's very competitive. It's very fun.
How do you hope this prepared your team for the fall season?
Well, you know, something like this is a lot of fun. It can get a little silly at times and you're very relaxed, but we got to implement some of the things that the girls have been working on this semester, and so I'm hoping skill-wise we improved a lot, and that's what we're going to put forth in the fall.
What amount of success are you hoping to see?
You know, I obviously want to be as successful as last year, but I think the goal is more success. I hope we're going to go a little deeper in the NCAA tournament, maybe even finish higher in the LSC. I think I want to do the same, but possibly better.
This has been Matthew Roberts from the South Texan. Now back to your sideline reporter, Jacob Daniels.
Well, that's all for sports. Now back to the wonderful Matthew Roberts and Mark Paz.
Thanks, Jacob. Now, make sure to subscribe to the Javelina Media Experience to stay up to date with all the latest news on campus. And don't forget to pick up your latest issue of the South Texan. I was your host, Matthew Roberts.
And I'm Mark Paz. Thank you for watching this episode of the Javelina Broadcast Network.